Hi, everyone. My name's Andy, and today I'm meeting with my client, which is my wife, to debrief their nutritional behavior change experience from last week. Before we begin, I need to obtain verbal permission, and I ask her if it's okay. Do I have your permission to record a session and share it privately with my class as an unlisted YouTube video? And she says yes. I say, great, thank you. Now we'll walk you through your smart nutrition goal from last week and reflect on how things went. First, I'm going to review the smart nutrition goal. So let's start by restating the nutritional goal that we set last week. Your SMART goal was to increase your daily vegetable intake by adding at least one serving of vegetables to lunch and one serving to dinner, 5 days per week for the next 7 days. So this goal was specific. It had 2 servings of vegetables per day. It was measurable, tracked by servings and days completed, was attainable, realistic based on your schedule. It was relevant, aligned with your desire to improve overall nutrition, and it was time-based. It was set for a 1 week period. Does that still sound accurate to you? And she says yes. Now, the second barrier, which is identifying a barrier or obstacle. Let's talk about at least one barrier you encountered. And I asked her, what was the obstacle that made it difficult to meet your vegetable intake goal this week? She says the main barrier was identified for lack of time to prepping the vegetables, or she also says forgetting to pack them or not having the appealing options available. Okay. You mentioned that you attempted to overcome this by example, pre-cutting vegetables, buying frozen options, setting reminders, or choosing simpler recipes. That's a strong example of problem solving and adjust the environment to support healthier choices. Now, the third thing was the change strategy used. Let's review the specific behavior change strategy that you used. Last week, we focused on self monitoring, which meant tracking your vegetables servings each day. You also used environmental restructuring, such as keeping vegetables visible and accessible at home. I asked her, how did these strategies work for you over the week? She says they worked very well, with the exception of the time constraints and things that we kind of talked about. And I say, great, your progress shows how these strategies influenced your choices and helped you stay aware of your progress. So the fourth thing says success or failure in achieving the goal. Let's talk about your overall success. Based on your tracking, you completed the goal, which was 4 out of 5 days. That means you were successful, somewhat successful, still working towards consistency. Um, how satisfied do you feel with your progress this week? I ask her. And she says, pretty successful. She answers, there's still some things I could improve on. So your response shows that good insight, even if the goal wasn't partially or wasn't fully met, the progress you made is meaningful. Behavior change is rarely linear, and partial success still represents improvement. Long-term success effectiveness of the strategy. Finally, let's consider whether this strategy would be effective for long-term permanent change. The combination of self-monitoring, environmental restructuring, and SMART goal setting is strongly supported in the research as an effective approach for long-term nutritional improvements. However, long-term success depends on continuing to adjust the strategy so it fits your lifestyle. For example, simplifying meal prep, planning ahead, or rotating vegetable options may be helpful in maintaining motivation and consistency. And I asked her, "Do you feel like this strategy is something you could maintain long term with a few adjustments?" And she says, "Definitely so, especially with some of the suggestions that you made." And I say, "Thank you. That's a wonderful reflection. Your awareness of what works and what doesn't is exactly what supports sustainable change." Thank you very much. Have a great day.